All right. To make a graph, you start by identifying all of the information from your equations. 1 minus 3 cosine 2x minus pi. This 2x minus pi is not the way we want it. That's not the way we use it. We have to have factored out. That needs to be factored out. So if you take out the 2 from 2x, you're just left with x. If you take out a 2 from minus pi, you're dividing by 2, that's minus pi over 2. That changes your shift, your phase shift. You have to divide out the number that's in front of the x. You have to divide out your b. Now, the rest of these numbers kind of directly go into where they are, except for period. You have to do a little calculation for period. Amplitude is the number in front of the sine or cosine. In this case, it is 3. The negative is not part of the amplitude. The negative just tells you that your first dot is down. Period. There's an equation. You got to do 2 pi divided by b. B is 2. 2 pi divided by 2 is pi. The period is pi. Phase shift. That is your left and right shift, which is right there. Since that says minus pi over 2, that's actually shifting to the right. Pi over 2. Right in front of A. Like, you're looking at that's plus or minus. This one's negative. It's a negative cosine. Yep. Vertical shift. That right there is your vertical shift. 1. It's positive, so it is up 1. So we're going to take those. We're going to draw our 3 lines, our top, our middle, and our bottom. The middle is at 1 from that vertical shift. So we're going to draw a line through 1. I'm going to use a highlighter. Frozen up. Hold on.
Oh, I thought you were just standing there looking at it.
Nope, frozen. Okay, there we go. Our line is at 1. That's our midline. The amplitude was 3. So from there, we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. And we also go down 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, and it goes up 1 to the equation, the first 1 minus.
The vertical shift. Yep. All right. We have our phase shift was right pi over 2. So we are going to start graphing this at pi over 2 to the right. It was also a negative in front of the word cosine. Negative cosine starts at the bottom. And we're shifting it to the right pi over 2. So that is our start. We're on the bottom line, shifts to the right, pi over 2. Now we need to know where the rest of our dots go. We know the shape negative cosine is going to make, but we need to know how often to put our dots. Our dots are based off the period. The period is pi. Pi on our graph is a total of 4 spaces, because it's counting by pi over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to pi. So the entirety of our cosine shape is going to go 4 spaces wide, which means we put a dot every 4 divided by 4, every 1 space. We divide by 4 because there's 4 sections to a cosine graph. There's 4 quadrants to a cosine. So every 1 space we go to the right, we put the next dot for our negative sine graph. We started from the bottom, we go 1 space, now we're in the middle. We go 1 space, now we're at the top. We go one space back to the middle, one space back to the bottom, one space middle, one space top. And continue that going the other way too. Middle, top, middle, bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle, top. And draw your cosine graph. So there's the graph. We graphed it over the interval. Part C. Let me scroll down. Says to rewrite that same equation, the same graph, using sine instead of cosine. Well, it was cosine because we started at the bottom. Cosine starts bottom or top. Sine starts at the middle. So for our sine graph, we can pick any of these dots that start in the middle. If we pick this one, it will be a negative sine graph because it's middle going down. If we pick the next dot, it will be a positive sine graph because it's middle going up. If we pick the next dot, it's negative sine because it's middle going down. If you pick the next dot, it's middle going up, so it will be positive. You pick which one you want to do. I would choose one of those two dots closest to the y-axis because those are the easiest ones to get the numbers for. That's the way I prefer to do it. I'm going to choose that one right there on the left side. So that purple dot. So that's our shift. That is a positive sine graph using that dot. That would be a positive sine graph because we're middle going up. Positive sine. The midline is 1. 1. And then it's a positive sine graph. The amplitude is still 3. We did not change the amplitude of that graph. X, we shifted to use that dot. We would say X plus, because it was on the left side, pi over 4. And then we need B. B is the period changer. We didn't change the period, so it's going to stay the same B value as before, which was 2. You're keeping all the numbers the same except for your shift, and maybe you change the positive or negative, depending on which point you want to choose. Every other number, the 1, the 3, and the 2, those will not change. Those will stay the same.